welcome back. Today is Saturday and we are still able to get our flower stand open. So I thought I would take you along with the process of getting everything ready. I am in my garage right now because it is 4:30 in the morning. I usually start at 5 o'clock getting everything ready. So this way I can open it up for 9 a.m. I usually try by 8:40 to get everything loaded into my garage. So that way with 10 minutes to go, we can bring everything out to the flower stand. So everyone is sleeping right now because who wakes up this early on a Saturday morning? But we are still able to get the flower stand open here. It's going to be the first weekend of October. We do have our average first frost date is October 3rd, or it could be October 10th. And next Thursday, it's going to dip down into 34 degrees. So we're like getting really close. So if this is the last weekend, we're going out with a bang. I actually keep everything here in my garage overnight. When it's the summertime, I will actually have everything in my master bedroom because we have it nice and cool up there. And I put it under a table where we have a vent like higher up on our wall to keep everything nice and cool. So today I just wanted to share, this is my first year with my flower stand. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Kristy. I am located in Massachusetts. And I decided this year to open up a roadside flower stand. I don't know how we got here, but it's been just so much fun and I'm so happy I did it. And then I just want to keep expanding for the years to come because my community actually has been responding and really liking. Last week I sold 20 different flower arrangements. I do actually everything in a mason jar, which I will show you afterwards. But next year I'm hoping to do half mason jars and start working more into wrapped bouquets. So we are going to be moving everything inside. I'm going to take you along. I might be a little bit quiet, so hopefully I can raise the volume. Like I said, everyone is sleeping and yeah, so let's get to it. And don't mind the mess, but I want to show you everything that I did cut yesterday. Luckily the garden is still doing really well. I kind of stopped with fertilizing because I wasn't sure if we were going to make it this week because we did dip into the 30s twice and I didn't have frost cloth. But I will be trying to save like my dahlias and some of my zinnias for next week. So let me show you what I have and then we'll move inside. So I have coleus, which has been a lifesaver of a filler. This is great. These ones actually go, I do a fall bouquet with them. I usually have coleus and sunflowers, and I also usually will throw in a few stems of celosia. So these colors just work so nicely. And I've had people say that this has lasted like 2 to 3 weeks on their counter. And then I have some sunflowers, only a few left. This one's been kind of nibbled, so we might not use that. This week, I sacrificed a lot of my dahlia seedlings for some greenery because they will not bud up in time. And I don't plan on keeping a whole patch that I started. We have some celosia also hiding in there too. So I sacrificed these because I need some greens. Marigolds are another one that I love to use for greenery. And then I do have some marigolds and a little zinnia in there. I bought some sedum to add to my landscape. So I did pluck a few of these just to add some nice color to it. These are some amazing zinnias, some Bennery Giants. I have some nice vibrant colors, lots of oranges, which I'm very excited about to add some more fall color. And then I have a few buckets of my dahlias. These ones I think all here are Costco varieties that I bought this year. And then I do believe in here, I got all of these from Costco as well. So I'm not really good with names quite yet, but I'm hoping to learn. We have some mountain mint that I'm going to try and harvest as much as I can. More zinnias. These are going to be some, I do have some more of the Bennery's Giants. Then we have some cactus variety. And then I have just a few of this and that I bought from some Etsy sellers. And next year, and then I love this color so much. These are like from the Queen Lime series, which is funny because not everyone around here has really responded to that color well. And then we have a lot of dahlias here. So we have like the cafe au lait, but I have like some that are first year seedlings in this bucket. Like these I'm really happy with. I have this one. So this is a lot of my first year seedlings besides the cafe au lait, and then this one I believe is Diva maybe, but yeah, so we have a lot to work with, so let's get to it. Everything here ready to go. I apologize, the lighting is not great, but make do with it. So what I like to do is I wrap everything in these mason jars. These are just a regular mouth ball mason jar. I believe it's the 32-ounce size, and I made a whole video on how to wrap them, and go check that out. I just love it for presentation. I actually bought all of this paper because I was going to do a wrap bouquets. Unfortunately, my stems were just not long enough for my liking, so I started doing this, and everyone has responded well. And what they can do is it's nice and like still loosely wrapped, where they can just slide the mason jar out if they want. And actually some people do leave it in. And then inside here, I'll tuck some flower food and some instructions on how to take care of their flowers to hopefully make them last a little bit longer. So this is just a great option if you feel like your stems are a little bit short, you can wrap them. And sourcing them, I actually buy them at Walmart. So if you go to the dollar store, I believe it's like $1.50 or $1.75 here for a canning jar. I have found Walmart, I will buy the ball mason jars. Again, these are the regular mouth, because if you do the wide ones, you're gonna be filling it with a lot more flowers because of how wide the mouth is and if you want everything to stand. So definitely go with the regular mouth. And they have a 4-pack, at least in my area. So I'm in Western Massachusetts. They have a 4-pack, I believe it's $55, and then they deliver it to you. So it's about $1.13, $1.15, depending on the pricing per mason jar, which I'm fine with. It's cheaper than going to the dollar store. And I do also recycle like spaghetti sauce jars as well, but I just factor this into my expenses. So again, Walmart 4-pack is cheaper than if you buy the 1-pack from the Walmart app. So that is just my little tip. And I go through a lot of these. And actually, surprisingly, a lot of people bring them back. So I do have a vase return basket, and I probably will get at least 4 or 5 of them back a week because I do have some repeat customers. So I will just put them in the dishwasher. I will sanitize them and then use them the following week. So I can go like sometimes maybe 2 weeks using these, and then 1 week using all return mason jars or recycled like spaghetti sauce jars. Like I mentioned, we'll get like a 3-pack of Classico from Costco, and I'll just peel, use some Goo Gone to get the label off, and then just run it through the dishwasher, and they look good as new. So let's get to it. So I have all my mason jars lined up. I usually start with about 15. Like I said, last week I had 20. And I also want to tell you another little trick that I do. I don't grow everything. These are from Stop and Shop, and I go there every week to get my groceries. And let me see if I can find the tag. Oh, here it is. So they will run a special, and so I will go to their markdown, and for $3 I get filler because my filler is like basically done. I have no more yarrow left, and my celosia is really picked over. So I'll just get this and I'll plug some of these in as well. But I mean, how pretty are these? Especially like some of my first year seedlings. So nice. So first things first is I do put a little bit of flower food in the bottom of every mason jar, and I just go to the sink, fill it up so that way it is almost basically filled. Especially today, it's going to be 82 degrees. So I will fill it, and then I will go out later in the afternoon and refresh any water that has been soaked up by the flowers, and just make sure that everything stays nice and cool. All right, so we're gonna try and make this work so you can at least see me putting one together, and then I'll change the camera angle so you can watch. But what I like to do is every single arrangement is going to be unique. So no two will look alike, which I like to do because I feel like everyone has different tastes, different personalities. So I try and keep things kind of like in the same color scheme. I'm not really good with mixing colors yet and making them like all the colors under the sun. Again, this is my first year, so I am still learning. But what I like to do is try and pick at least 2 dahlias as my focal flower and go off of those colors in the dahlia. And then I usually have a few, like I said, like fall style ones with my coleus and my sunflowers, but I probably only can make one of those today. But those were always a big hit. And like I said, I had customers saying that they lasted 2 to 3 weeks, so they absolutely loved it. And like my mom would always buy one of those fall arrangements because she would go and leave them on her parents' gravestone. And she said even in the sun, they lasted for a few weeks without like being refreshed with water or anything. So coleus is like my secret weapon, and I'm going to make sure that I grow a lot more this year. Anyway, so I'm going to pick 2 dahlias. The larger dinner plate ones I get very stressed out about because, as you know, they kind of like flop forward. So sometimes I have to use some twine to kind of hold them up. But I'll try and pick some greenery. Now, my mountain mint is not looking the best. It does have some spots. I'll have to pick some of the leaves, but I really just want it as a nice filler to help hold up my flowers. And the scent is just amazing. I just didn't want it to go to waste. So I'll pick off some of the leaves that are looking a little but people also know that this is coming from my garden. So if it has like a little bug, I don't do any pesticides. I don't spray anything. The most I give it is some bloom boost to help and some fertilizer. But other than that, they might get a little critter here or there, and I've had no complaints. So let's show you how we start. All right, so I think I'm gonna start with some of these lighter colors here. I do have a little orange zinnias and yellows, so I'm gonna have to use a lot of those. So let me get my snips and let's see what we're gonna work with first. All right, so we're gonna, I think, use some of the cafe au laits first. I love those so much. They're just like so whimsical and pretty. And as I mentioned, I did clip some of my dahlia greens. I thought this was perfect, and why let it go to waste? So I just did, again, these are from my first year seedlings. I won't get anything from the branches that I picked. So I'm going to use this as my greens, and I kind of just make sure I always re-clip the bottom and make sure that no leaves are in my mason jar. And I'll probably just start off with 2 for now, because I think that's plenty. And if you hear me yelling, it's because my cat, Gizmo, oh, Luna, get down. They like to eat the flowers. They are, oh, they get on my nerves. Okay, so we have 2 of those. And like I said, my coleus is shot, so I don't really have much for like little accent flowers. So we're gonna do this, and then let's see here. And I have killed, and I have deheaded so many of these because I was not really good with netting. So unfortunately, when I would pull my organza bags off, a lot of these would fall off, or they're so floppy that I would have to, well, I don't know. So we're just going to, and I kind of just guess, guys, I am just like, there's no science behind this. This is just me trying to figure out life. All right, so we have 1 here. Like I said, I like to do 2. Especially since I have so many. I mean, they're just so pretty, so pretty. And I actually got all these cafe au laits from the nursery down the road. I like to go when she has her annuals on sale, and she includes these as annuals because she does not want to overwinter them. All right, so we have 2 bouquets. And because I do this mason jar, they don't get that full round effect when they take the sleeve off. So that's why I really want to make sure that next year I try and get more into the wrapped bouquets. So then that way they get the full effect all the way around. And this is all just trial and error. Let's see if that will stay. All right, and for this color palette, we're gonna add some yellow zinnias, and I'll probably actually add a sedum in there as well. So I have 2 yellow zinnias that I'm going to add in, and I'll probably actually add some sedum as well. I like to at least put 2 of the larger zinnias in, and then I'll use my smaller ones. Now I'm going with yellow based off of the inside of my cafe au laits. And I like to do things in like pairs of 3s, 2s, or 5s. So I might actually get another one on the inside. Let's see here. Maybe I'll put an orange. That might actually look nice. And I like to make sure I strip all the leaves. I've had some powdery mildew because it's been so hot and humid as well, which kind of has been a little bit frustrating, but at least it gives us more of a growing season. All right. All right, and let's see what else we can do. One done, and this is what it'll look like from the front. So sometimes I have to play with it. I usually will have some coleus sticking out, yarrow, or feverfew. I am just totally wiped out. Again, this is going to be the first weekend in October. So I made sure that I planted more for next year. So basically we're just working with zinnias today and dahlias. I have only a few things of celosia, but other than that, this is what our main thing is. So usually I would not put so many zinnias, or I'd put like maybe 5 zinnias and then do a lot of filler and some greens, but hey, you gotta work with what you have. So the rest will be a time lapse, and I'll show you what everything looks like at the end. So we have a handful made. It's about 6 o'clock. The kids are starting to wake up. So we have 5 over here. And then we have 4 done here. And then I'm kind of working on this one. Yellow is not my favorite at all. But that's okay. What I do is if someone doesn't buy this today, I will redo it tomorrow and maybe move around some of the colors. I'm very into doing the same color at once, so I'm trying to get away from that. But yes, lots of yellows. All right, kids are waking up, and this is what it looks like. It's a mess. I still have all of this. 3 jars that are wrapped, so I'm probably gonna need to make a few more, so we'll see what we can do in the next hour or so. All right, 2 hours later, or sorry, 3 hours later. Mine is feeding kids, waking kids, changing kids. We have 15 or 16 of these ready to go. And I do have one over there special for a friend that she's getting for someone's birthday. So not too bad. All right, it is freezing. It's in like the 40s or 50s right now. So what I like to do after I make my flower arrangements, I will pick at least 2 to 4, sometimes even 6 flowers. And I put them on my bench right here and I do like a little sneak peek. I try and find some of my favorites. My husband always picks what his favorite is to see if when it goes, and then I pick my favorite. So I'll take pictures here. It gets some decent lighting. Unfortunately, it does not look great in the background anymore. Before it was just lush green tomato vines, so that was a nice background. So we're just gonna work with what we have, and then by 8:30, 8:40, I try and put them in the garage. So all I have to do at 10 of 9 is carry them out. My kids help me as well carrying the signs, and sometimes I try and hold the flowers, which is very nerve-wracking until we can run up and get them. And yeah, then I'll show you what the final product looks like. So what I love about these is 1, 2, 3 dahlias here are all first year seedlings. And I am just really enjoying their colors. And then 1, 2, and 3, these are all first year seedlings as well for dahlias, which I will be saving for next year. So I just kind of take a picture like this or a video just to show them what they could expect at the flower stand. And like I mentioned before, every single one is unique. No two are alike. And that's kind of like how I like running my flower stand. I think it also helps cause a case of urgency. So I do have some people that show up like right at 9:05 on the dot so they can get their favorite one. Also, everyone gets one of these, so I have a flower booster packet. And then I also have some care instructions I just printed on some cardstock, and I will layer them like this. And then if I can get it with one hand, I will sneak it in and it will just sit like that right on the flowers. So I leave everything here for my kids to help with. And then we have flowers here and here ready to go out. And this is what it looks like. So we have some on the bottom, some on the top, but this blue and white I feel like just really helps it pop. All right, and we'll check back in and see how we do. All right, it's time to see what we need to bring in. And we have 2 bouquets left. So I do a vase return, so I was able to get a vase back. And I always come out and try and rearrange things. Like sometimes I have customers who don't take the vase, they just take the whole thing, so I can reuse that and just try and fix things. And sometimes when people move them, the flower might move, so I'll just rearrange everything. But 2 nice bouquets left. I will be making a 3rd tomorrow. I have a pay here button. It has my Venmo in 2 different places. And then I just let everyone know how much they are. And I do have a scan me so they can find me on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, we're gonna be taking these down and I'll put them back up tomorrow morning. All right, good morning. It is day 2. And I am just getting everything set up. In about 20 minutes, we'll have it open with 5 arrangements. I made 3 this morning. But again, I have my little sign, a little QR code, and just some filler. I'm hoping to do smaller jars next year to fill those spaces. And then I have my payment. All right, and then we'll set it up soon. Here are the 5 that I have. I had 1 dahlia that opened up nicely, and I had a few zinnias left. I got the rest of my sunflowers. They're not quite opened up yet. They're very small, and marigolds. We are definitely going to be in the 30s next week. So I tried getting everything I could. So I clipped some marigolds. We still have this one from yesterday. And this was also from yesterday as well. And then I made this one, which I kind of want to keep. The edges did get eaten, but again, that's what you get when you have homegrown. I do have this beauty that opened up yesterday. And then these 3 white dahlias. This is actually the solid white one, a first year seedling, but the rest are from Costco. And I had a few pinks, zinnias and purples that I added in, corals, and then these again were carnations that I got from Stop and Shop. So we will load these up soon. All right, and the flowers are out. And it's a gorgeous day and soccer is going, so people do drive by here. So hopefully we'll sell some after the soccer practice. And here. All right, it is now 4 o'clock on Sunday, and we sold out for the weekend. So it's time to pack everything up until next weekend. Thank you for coming along and getting my flower stand ready with me. I hope you found that helpful. If you are someone that is new like me, putting arrangements together, I'm having so much fun doing this, and I can't wait to expand next year. We're already getting started with planting cool hardy annuals, so definitely check out that video if you are thinking of planting cool hardy annuals as well, so we can see how the process comes along. I will also be taking you along in the spring for taking my vegetable garden and turning it into mainly flower beds, so we can expand our flower stand next year, hopefully offering more larger bouquets to go along with the mason jars. And I mean, I just have big plans. I would love to just clear a ton of our land back here so I can grow more flowers. I'm going to have a huge dahlia patch that I will be getting ready for hopefully in the next month or so. If not, we'll be doing that also in the spring as well. So definitely stay tuned, and if you would like to, go ahead and click like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I'll see y'all next time. Happy gardening. Bye.